And hello, people, and welcome to another episode of this great podcast again. I'm, as always, your DJ Unhero, Richie, as accompanied, as always, by my bat host with the most, Sean.
Howdy, 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 howdy. Matches Malone for those in the know of Twitter.
And in the Twitter zone, highway
Sure.
to the Twitter zone. So
I swear we weren't smoking anything before this. He just started this way. He's on some good, anti medication. So
I'm gonna take up some comedy and try to do some stage work and get booed off very quickly. So
yeah, that'll do great for your
for my yeah.
Okay,
Anyways,
moving on. Yeah, moving on.
So it's been a minute. So
more than a minute. Yeah, the last few weeks we've had stuff happen in real life that's kind of interrupted our recordings. Lost a recording, but
yeah, to say the least. So
fecal matter happens. But we're still moving on, plugging on, and we're back.
Yeah.
I don't know. You want to go on the news real quick? Like anything exciting you want to go over?
Yeah. There's some things I want to talk about. Some things that are exciting to me that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Things that have probably, I guess, currently happened. Logan came out recently. Went and saw that.
Still haven't seen it myself, but I hear nothing but good.
Well, no spoilers from
Sure.
me. We talked about it. I was very happy with it. It was a sad and depressing movie, but still a very good movie.
On that same mindset, Lego Batman came out since last time we recorded. I saw that. It was fantastic.
I heard nothing but good things about that movie.
Not depressing or sad, just good, fun, educational.
Absolutely.
So
you did recommend that I go check out the soundtrack, especially the one track out of that, and I did really enjoy that. It was pretty rocking. So.
It's hilarious. It's like the opening scene of the movie.
Yeah,
it's just smacking the crap out of it.
I actually did, I think, add it to one of my playlists. So
it's good.
It's in there. So So there was that. So the film's good. One of my favorite bands, being a death metal band, being Obituary, just released one of their latest albums over the weekend, and picked that up and check it out on however you get music, or go on YouTube for all I care, whatever, and check it out. They got some funny new videos for it up that we actually just checked out. So
yeah, those are funny.
They're funny and entertaining, and got some good little things in there that if you see from movies or whatnot. So entertaining. So of course that's in there too, and seemed like there was some other things that
we had a few more famous people. Of course, 2017 famous people still dying,
kicking us in the balls.
Bernie Wrightson just passed last night. If you're not familiar with him, Bernie Wrightson was a very iconic comic and just in general graphic artist, mostly known for he was the first artist to do Swamp Thing. He was the artist on Batman the Cult, which was a 80s miniseries that was pretty iconic. He also did a graphic novel of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, as well as he did artwork for Stephen King's Cycle of the Werewolf and Creepshow.
I actually own the Cycle of the Werewolf that has all the illustrations in it, and those are awesome.
Yeah, just big name in like horror art, very cool. Sad that he passed, but definitely check his stuff out. If you've never heard of him, just Google his name and look at some of his stuff. It's really detailed, mostly like pen and ink, good stuff.
Yeah, very good classic artist. Yeah, it sucks, man. I mean, it's just we're getting to that age and everything for us where we're up there, and our heroes just keep passing.
Yeah, but it happens. The nice thing though that you always got to remember with these people is that because they've done art, or they've been in movies, or they've recorded music, is that they're in some ways going to be immortal, because we're always going to have that. We can always go back and enjoy the things that they gave us. So always keep that in mind.
Yeah, no. Once it's published, put into book form, audio form. Well, once it's out there forever,
So technically, by doing this podcast, we're freaking immortal. So
we are, for good or for bad, it's out there forever. Once this thing is, out, put it up there. So
deal with it.
So deal with it, yeah, whether you like it or not. But
until I can find my own Lazarus pit, this is my own way.
We got to meet up with Apocalypse, yeah. So,
all right.
And on, I guess, another note, Chuck Berry just passed too, and he's one of the godfathers of guitar, blues and all that. And whether some of the stuff he did in like later years was kind of shady, to say the least. What I heard,
without going deep into it,
yeah,
I fear for female angels in heaven in the women's restrooms in heaven, but
yeah.
Everybody's got their weird quirks. The things he did for music should be enough for,
Yeah, for players, I was never the biggest into blues. I did enjoy some blues, but he was a pioneer of blues guitar.
I'm a huge fan of R&B, or not R&B, but like blues and jazz. I just have to be in the right mood for it.
Yeah,
he's iconic.
He pioneered, and in my opinion, blues like pioneered rock and roll, and and everything afterward, So yeah, he'll be missed as well. So it's sad to hear that, and without getting too deeply involved into these two stories, I'd like to tell these two stories on the podcast real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Before we get into our top 5. So, go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
No. I was just saying, please feel free. We're gonna try an experiment where we're gonna kind of time ourselves, see if we can keep a top 5 to like 25 minutes. Yeah. And just move that way. We're going to record a few in a row, but we're going to keep them to 25, just so that they're more easy. They're easier for everybody to take in. So
yeah, we're still going to try to keep these short as possible.
Sure.
We're still going to do the music as a part of it and everything. But
so if you suddenly hear Godzilla screaming or roaring, for that matter, then we've gone over 25 minutes. So
or maybe we're going to be eating. Who knows?
or go hit the bomb shelter.
I was gonna say
Godzilla is hitting
who knows
North American territories. Man, if he hits Ohio first, that's really weird. Unless he can teleported in. But anyway,
well, now I kind of hope to see this. I don't know.
Maybe Rodan flies him in. I don't know.
We're kind of getting off. What if I keep one story for this one and I kind of save one for the other?
Do it for the next one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll do the Best Buy one for this one. I'll hold it out with the other. Okay. So I was heading to Best Buy probably about a week ago. I can't remember what I was headed there for, but I picked up some stuff at Best Buy and I was looking at mics for the podcast. And I happened to see one just on its own, and this guy came to help me. And if anybody's ever been to a Best Buy, as well as I do, is most times those people are just not helpful. Unless, I'm sorry, if you work at a Best Buy, I'm sorry to offend you. But, so this guy comes up to me, he's asked if he could help me, and I said, well, yeah, I'm looking for podcast mics. And he goes, yeah, they're over here, and so he shows them to me, and I said, well, this is actually the one I've been reading about. This is the one I'm looking for. I'm not looking to buy it yet, but I'm just coming to look at it, and further my, research about it and everything. And and he wanted to know want to know more about what I did. And I said, well, I just started a podcast, more or less, kind of early stages of it, me and my buddy. And he further told me that his girlfriend was a professional Twitch person, which any of you know what Twitch is. It's where somebody plays video games for a living. They get paid, but they do it on camera live. They play video games online with people. They do it live while the camera's on them. People around the world watch you. You get paid, and you get paid by people and companies and by other people online. Anyway. So I said, "Oh, okay. Well, that's awesome. Good for you. That you have that." And then he proceeded to tell me that I needed a lot of cameras to do my show. And I said, "Okay, to do a podcast where I only do radio."
Yeah.
So he took me over to a bunch of video cameras and told me that I needed to do this, I needed a green screen and all this other things, or I just stood there with my mouth closed, pretty much, because there was no way I was buying any of this, and where I wasn't going to buy a microphone at that time, because I was simply there to look.
Yeah, well,
So
the other thing, keep in mind, especially in like a sales area like that, is they're trying to upsell you on stuff anyway. I don't know. Guy might not even know what a podcast is, and
he did not, because I kept telling him, well, before I decided to shut my mouth, I kept telling him it's a radio show. What we're doing is I'm doing strictly radio. When I'm putting it up, it's radio.
yeah,
Hey, we're doing some photos to put up with it, but it's radio.
it's
what we're doing.
it is what it is.
So, and he kept, he told me about his girlfriend, like, she's famous on Twitch and stuff, and it's like, well, good for you. You know what I mean? This is what I'm doing,
Hey, bygones be bygones. Guy kind of sounded like a douche canoe. I mean,
well, he was a
she's
younger kid and
famous
all that,
on
but
Twitch. I don't know.
Not to sound like a hater or anything, but it is what it is.
To sound like an old hater, hey, I just turned 36, so now I'm an old man. Yeah, shut up with your
You
rubbish.
know what? I think I was just thinking about this actually earlier today. I think I've gotten to this point where I feel like the older man now. I'm almost 35 now. You just turned 36.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten to this point now where I feel like the older person, the older man now, where it's like, where the younger kids, it feels like this new generation thing where I don't know what's going on,
Yeah.
The newer stuff I am involved with, and obviously, and
Sure.
so are you, but it's just like
some of us is like, yeah, get out of my way.
yeah, exactly. It's just like some of them not getting it and all that. So it's like I don't. Are we the older people now?
Well,
It's like I don't feel old.
Yeah, we're still not
Yeah.
old yet. I mean, we still, we're keeping up with modern technology. We're watching stuff. It's just certain things I will not go with.
I'm not old, damn, but I have a smartphone.
Yeah, I have a smartphone, darn it.
It talks to me and I take photos.
My parents are old. I'm not old yet.
I have a few gray hairs, but it's not a lot.
It's only when I don't shave my beard completely.
Maybe I'll shave my beard. Yeah.
With that in mind, that's a good segue for which one do you want? Here's a question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pose this to you, Richard.
Okay.
Which do you prize more, sex or violence? Because it's important on which list we're gonna do first. Which one do you like more, sex or violence?
Since I am becoming an older man now, and I do have a few grays, I'm going to go more towards violence.
See, that's valid.
I lean towards more the Rollins way these days.
I mean, that's a valid answer. Sometimes, the equipment that you're given doesn't work correctly, and you can't get into the sex. But violence, you always can pick up another gun.
Yeah,
so,
I take what I can get. Yeah, I mean,
sure. So, without any further ado, the list we're going to do for this segment is the top five favorite fictional weapons.
Absolutely.
Now, before we go into it, we're not talking about end all be all like the Death Star is not going to be in here. I'm not talking like most powerful weapon. This is more just
crazy nerds out there.
Yeah, this is more personal. Like that's a cool weapon. Like, be it a movie, a comic, video game, anything. It can be from any segment.
Anything.
But it's just got to be some kind of. You also can't say like I don't know. Like I guess you could say like a Dirty Harry's gun or something because that's pretty iconic. But like.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
We're not gonna go in and be like Glock 17. That's too. Everybody's got a Glock 17. This is more like iconic weapons. I think I only have like one actual gun on my list, but we'll get into it. But that's kind of what we based our lists on. As always, please, if you don't agree with our list, if you agree with our list, please. Comment, share, tell us something. We love hearing from you guys.
You can tell me to kiss your ass that this belongs nowhere on my list or your list. No, you just you don't have to be that mean. No, you could be that mean.
I'm going to call somebody out right now. Paul McPeak, I know you listen to this podcast and you were talking smack on Richard about his choices for best 80s horror. So, you know, he was talking smack about Cannibal Holocaust. So, you know, come at him, bro.
Hey, man, that's a disturbing film. Yeah. For anybody. It still disturbs me, and I've seen it like a billion times since I was a kid. Seriously.
I'm just messing. We love you, Paul. I just give you a hard time. Well, now that you live in Columbus, you're coming on the show. So
yeah, man, you're on an episode now.
I know you're going to listen to this at some point. So
right on.
But anyway, so we're going to do the top 5 fictional weapons.
Fictional weapons.
You want me to start off on this one?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Top 5.
So again, top 5. We always start at the number 5 and move to number 1. Mm-hmm. If we have one that we both have on our list, we'll both talk about it.
All right.
But starting the list off, I'm going to go a little, cultish.
Right on.
My number 5 is the triple shotgun from the Phantasm series.
Nice. Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that, man.
It just popped in my head. Just Reggie, the ice cream man in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, I think it's in the second movie, he basically takes 3 shotguns, saws them together, and like duct tapes it. Which, as we all know from Aliens, duct tape always makes a gun better.
Oh, dude, yeah. By the 80s, by the time you're done there, they got that down pat.
Yeah.
Seriously.
As much as, Ash with his sawed-off shotgun and chainsaw arm, Ripley with her pulse rifle and flamethrower, you got Reggie with his triple shotgun. It's iconic. And if you're going to fight little, dwarves in hoods that spit yellow embalming fluid or, big silver ball with blades in it, you gotta have a triple shotgun.
You would, if some psycho is gonna go hold up a 7-Eleven or even go, go rob a Chase or something, somebody should build the biggest, craziest, sawed off pulse rifle, triple shotgun or something to tape that shit together.
The only problem I have
to do it.
The reason the triple shotgun didn't make it higher on my list is I've fired just a 1-barrel shotgun and almost fell on my ass. So triple, I'm gonna need a walker just to stay up.
Well, what you need triple shoulder pads,
sure,
like cable.
Or you just fire it at the waist and it shoots up and smacks you in the face with the barrels. That's even better.
You need a face mask for that.
There you go. You're gonna wear full riot gear. And have a swivel thing so that you got extra wheels when it shoots you back. You just slide on it.
Yep, rubber band or something so it bands you back up or something.
Mind you, in the movies, you never even seem to have any problem other than blowback.
Nope, they never do. Never do.
So yeah, that's my number 5, triple shotgun from Phantasm.
Man. Nice. Like I said, I would have never thought about that.
It's one of those you got to throw out of nowhere.
All right, awesome choice. I like that. Like I said, never would have thought about that. All right, so my number 5, and I triple checked this, and I didn't know if I was going to put it on the list. I might have put it in the honorable favorites, honorable mentions, but I was like, what the hell? It's got to be top 5, and that is the Auto 9 from RoboCop.
I wondered if that was it.
I had to put that on.
You see, that's iconic, though.
That is iconic.
Everybody knows RoboCop's gun. It just had a certain look to it, and
holy shit! When you have 50 rounds per clip, holy shit!
Well, see, I was always under the theory, as a kid, that he could reload. When he stuffed it in his leg, it reloaded it. That's all I could figure.
No, there's some scenes actually when he reloads it, when he has it in his hand.
Really?
He reloads it. Yeah,
I have to go back and rewatch.
So maybe he had, I don't know.
He has extra clips in his leg. That would make sense.
But yeah. It's just holy shit. When I was reading about it, it was just 50 rounds per clip. Holy shit, man.
Well, in the movie, when you see him shoot somebody with it, it's multiple rounds in their chest. It's just
it saws them and it saws the chunks out, man.
He's just firing it at the rifle range at the beginning, and you just see the thing is just falling apart. So yeah. human tissue is not going to do much better than some cardboard.
I'm not a person that's for guns or anything like that, but holy shit, I would love to have a replica of that gun. Just to have it and have it on a stand in like the cave, dude. I don't even know where I would put it, but
Okay, once again though, I'm just gonna throw this out. With that much firepower, you're just gonna be falling on your ass.
I would never fire that.
Just,
Like, I'm going to do more harm being an intruder.
I'm going to defend my family. Actually, I'm just going to shoot the ceiling because that's the only thing I can hit when it
The whole
goes flying
apartment would
back.
collapse.
Oh my god!
But yeah, that's my
a good
number
one.
5.
Right on,
Yeah.
right on. Not a bad choice at all. That's in the heart of things. That's perfect. Moving on, my number 4, which actually we kind of hinted at. Of course, I got to put it on the list. Seems like Aliens always makes its way into our list somewhere.
That's because it's one of the greatest movies of all time.
Sure.
You know, we both know that.
Is the pulse rifle, pure and simple.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
you know, I could go into the smart gun, I could go into the flamethrower, but the pulse rifle, just the sound is so iconic when it goes off. It's such a cool. The design. It's actually, I read up on it. It's a combination of a Thompson Tommy gun and a Fianchi shotgun, which is the shotgun that Linda Hamilton uses in Terminator 2 towards the end when she's pumping it one-handed.
Nice.
That's the shotgun.
Yeah.
They just put that together with a Tommy gun and basically, molded it, and that's your pulse rifle. I just love,
awesome.
like, it's so iconic, though. Like, it's got the little digital readout of how many rounds you have left.
How many rounds, right, right.
It's got the little, you pound the clip in.
Dude, you don't even have to cock it. You just pound that clip right
Yeah,
back in
you
there.
don't.
Yeah.
The only time you cock it is if you're firing the grenade rounds in it, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Which
So
shows
significant.
how great of a movie it is. I know how to operate a pulse rifle because I've watched Aliens so many times.
We could pick one up right now and just slap that clip right in and we'd be ready to go.
I know what I'm doing. Leave me alone.
Let's go fight some aliens, man. Come on, Xenomorphs.
Yet again, I don't know what the blowback would be on that. I'd probably take out the ceiling with it.
Dude, our house would just be like, it would be underground. That's an awesome choice. And of course, it's your ringtone.
Oh, yeah.
If
Everybody knows
your
if you
ringtone,
text me, you're going to get the sound of a pulse rifle, which has been very fun in like comic shops. It starts conversations. Not so much fun in Walmart because people think like somebody's running around with a gun. So you got to be real careful where you have that plan. But yeah, good call.
Game over, man. Game over.
Oh,
That's an awesome choice, dude.
right on.
Awesome choice.
All right.
Oh, yeah. So that was your number 4.
That's my number 4. Your number 4.
All right. So my number 4, and Paul, when you hear this, I want you to laugh at this one.
Now this is Paul that was on the show, not
Paul
Paul
was on the
McPeak.
show, Mr. Paul Arthur.
Although you might laugh too. I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna say.
This is a good one. I bet you didn't think about this one.
Okay.
And this is the retro catapult from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Holy cow! I didn't think of that one. I remember
The
that.
thing that they create to sling stuff,
Yes,
but it never works right.
that's right.
You guys have probably no idea what I'm talking about. What I want you to do is Google this thing and see. There's an episode, you can YouTube it too. There's an episode where they have this thing on the original show, and it never works right. They sling trash, and I think of like water too, because they're trying to get the on like the episode they're trying to get like the businessmen that are brainwashed.
Okay.
Because Casey Jones infiltrates these businessmen. They're brainwashed. They're trying to find out what's going on or whatever. So they sling the water at him to wake him up.
And it never works right.
And it never works right. Yeah, so they're like slinging trash everywhere and shit. It's funny as hell.
That's really funny. The only reason I have to comment on this is like in the current Harley Quinn comics, one of the funniest ongoing gags they have in it is that they have basically the exact same thing as on the rooftop of this apartment building Harley Quinn is the landlord of.
Mm-hmm.
She has basically a giant like catapult launcher
Nice.
that they'll randomly fire thing. It's aimed so that it fires directly into New Jersey.
Nice.
So they're always throwing like random crap into Jersey. Like
it's just a catapult.
well, she has like an entire like story of the apartment building is nothing but like stray dogs and cats that she saved because she's like a big animal lover.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's how they get rid of the feces, is they just launch it at New Jersey every few issues.
They just sling shit at New Jersey.
Exactly, literally. And that's kind of a funny joke right there. So, I mean, I'm not the hugest fan of the Harley Quinn comic, but that got me giggle.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Right.
I like that,
so it does kind of live on in other media.
That's pretty good. I like that,
slinging slingshot.
Well, that would go right along with the retro catapult.
Yeah. Right on.
Right on. That was my number 4, man.
That was an interesting one. All right. My number 3, moving right along. We're still doing great on. Well, going okay on time. Might go a little bit over. We'll try to do a little better on the next one.
Well, it's because of like the
intro
and whatnot.
Give or take.
Yeah.
My number 3, iconic, is Captain America's shield.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
go wrong with that.
The fact that it deflects everything, but he can also throw it at somebody and just, ruin your day.
Oh yeah.
And it's an awesome looking shield too. I mean,
yeah, indestructible, right? It's indestructible.
It's vibranium, so it's
close
pretty
to
indestructible.
Yeah.
It's like Wolverine can't cut through it. So that should tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only time it's been able to be like broken in half was like, gods hitting it with like hammers and stuff. I don't know. But like they always find a way to get back together.
I don't know.
But yeah, and I can vouch for this one because I do have a replica of Captain America's shield in my apartment. And I will admit one of the first things I did was I hit my friend BJ Lewis in the forehead with it. Not because it was made of vibranium or I thought it was, but just because I wanted to hear it clang off of a human head. And BJ, I knew, could handle it because he's got a real hard head.
Now, did you just hit him with it, or did you throw it at
him?
Oh,
no, I smacked him with it, like, straight up, like steel chair WrestleMania style.
You just hit him with it?
No, I didn't try to throw it at anybody. I did fling it across the yard of my apartment one day just to see how it would go. It was kind of cool, but no, I whacked him. Like, I straight up, we were, like, sitting at my friend's house, and he was, like, just sitting there talking, and I just pulled it out of, like, my bag I had it hidden in. I just turned around, I was like, hey, BJ, go bam! And the best part is I hit him, and it went wong, and everybody turned and looked at me, and BJ just like, really? He can take a headshot like no tomorrow. Wow. So there's another shout out, BJ, taking headshots for the podcast.
Right on, man, right on.
So that was my number 3.
That was your number 3. All right, right on. Okay, so all right, my number 3. Okay, so it's kind of weird, but they're fictional weapons, so I'm gonna go with the saw traps from the Saw movies.
Like that encompasses a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so I wasn't even. What would you even call? Because they never really had names.
Well, right, but I mean, yeah, that's pretty.
So it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah,
how you would even research all that?
I wouldn't even like. I don't know. That just like encompasses like way. You could do it like a top 5 list of those. Mind you, I haven't watched more than like the first 2, but yeah.
Right.
So like.
Yeah, and I could go a little deeper into but I just wanted to in a whole put them.
I gotcha.
There's just so many different ones, like the pit. There's like a pit one, and
yeah, there's so many of those.
But
yeah, like I remember there was like one where like wasn't it something that was like they had it in their like there was something sewn into their teeth or something.
Yeah.
That's always gross.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I do not like the Saw movies. It's just too gross and
they're pretty gory.
Yeah, like I remember watching the first one in theaters and being like, okay, well that was a thing. And then the second one was like, I kind of liked parts of the second one. It was kind of cool.
Needle pit was crazy, right?
Oh God, I don't even want to think. That was gross.
Needle pit, yeah.
I remember I saw the third one in theaters. And I was like, I don't want to go on. Like,
no,
I'm done.
You were done with it. Yeah.
Second one was first one was weird. Second one was all right. Third one, I'm done. I quit.
Yeah. See, for me, I really liked them, and for me to really like a series, like right now.
Yeah.
I mean, these are pretty old now. When you think about it, they've been out a long time, especially the first one. Long time.
The first one was like 05, 06,
yeah. So
like
it's been a long time. Yeah. So yeah, and there hasn't we talked about it, hasn't really been a lot of movies really like wowed me. So
yeah, Yeah,
So,
that's an okay choice. Right on.
Yeah,
I
so
can respect that.
yeah, so I just said, hey, to take all the traps from them, it's like, hey, those are pretty crazy.
It's what those movies are pretty much known for.
Mm-hmm.
So I can respect that.
Yeah,
That's all right.
Yeah, so I just figured I'd just go with that without going too deep, and because I know you can, like I said, they've all got names. So, but yeah,
right on.
So that's my number 3.
Okay. All right, moving right along. My number 2, and this can go into different facets, but mostly I'm going with Batman's grapple gun from. Basically, it's just how he gets like on the buildings and stuff. But I'm going from the Arkham games where I found that it was the attack I spam the most because in that he can use it like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat and just shoot it, fire at somebody's chest, launch him towards him, and just like clothesline him.
I was gonna say he uses it for so many different things.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah, he also does it in Injustice where you can. Basically drop kick into somebody with it. But it's a cool weapon. I mean, not only can it be used to grapple with, but you can also basically snare people with it and just beat the tar out of them. It works.
He's always used that. Yeah.
So not always. It wasn't until right. I think it was the 80s, like the 89 movie was the first time he actually had the grapple gun.
Really?
If I remember correctly. And he uses that in the very first scene by grappling the guy. Well, no, he uses the batarang to grapple the guy's legs on the rope and they pull him.
But yeah, there's Godzilla. We're dead. We'll see it now.
We'll go a little bit longer, guys, because we haven't hit our number 1. But again, we're close. Anyway. But yeah, it's a cool weapon. I enjoy it, and it always sticks with me. I mean, Batman these days you can't have Batman without grapple.
No, it's it's always on his belt or whatever. It's when I think of Batman, I always think of his gun. So.
I dare say it's more iconic. It's more useful to him than a batarang.
Yeah, I mean he still uses the crap ton out of that. Too,
sure,
yeah.
But yeah, grapple gun's more important in my eyes. Always has been.
So. Yeah, definitely.
Right on. Definitely.
That's pretty sweet, though, to think of the first movie, or first time you would use that is in the 89 movie.
Yeah, it was the first time it was ever in that I remember, because before that, in the comics, he was always just taking, like, a batarang on a rope and, like, throwing it. And even when I was a kid, I was like, you can't, you gotta be a really good shot with the batarang, and, like, you gotta hope it's gonna hold.
Yeah. Even for comics, you would think, it's like, okay, you gotta really, let's come up with something.
Sure. Well, I mean, the grapple gun, even there, I guess it's kind of far-fetched to think that it's going to hook onto something and, like, hold enough to carry your body and possibly another person's body and swing with. But we let it slide for, fictional content. It's still cool. It's iconic. Right. It is what it is.
But, for each time they... Sure. Of course, add a little bit more, change it, and so yeah.
So all right,
but it is Batman, so
right on. But, again, another one that we can't do a list without me mentioning something from Batman or Aliens, I guess. But I'm not ashamed.
But that's why it's you, and that's why it's your list, man.
Right. So it is what it is. Deal with
it. Absolutely, or don't.
All
right, now what's your number 2?
That's my number 2.
All right, so my number 2 is. I'm going to go with it. I will go with adamantium.
In general, adamantium.
Just because it's unbreakable.
We were just talking about Captain America's shield is made of vibranium, which is one step below adamantium.
Yeah.
It is unbreakable as far as we know.
And I want to say something about the Logan movie, but I don't want to. Maybe off the podcast I'll say something to you about it.
Well, and in the comics, Wolverine is dead because they buried him in a tomb made of adamantium.
Yeah.
It's the only way they could keep him dead.
So
I mean, it is one of the hardest surfaces on Earth, or hardest materials on Earth according to the Marvel Universe. I was reading somewhere they were like trying. I think it was in Wizard back in the day. They had a list of like what could and couldn't break through adamantium, and they determined that like nth metal, which is like the stuff that's in like Thor's hammer, probably could break through it.
You could smash it, yeah.
They were like a lightsaber might be able to cut through it. They weren't sure.
Did they ever do Star Wars versus like Marvel or X-Men or anything like that?
No,
I didn't think so.
That's why it's up to speculation, like how powerful is a lightsaber. So.
Okay.
But yeah, Because they were like, who would win in a fight, Darth Vader or Wolverine? And it's like, depends on if a lightsaber can cut through adamantium.
Well, and you got to think about it too, since didn't Magneto pull
He did pull it
out of Wolverine's body?
Yeah,
right?
Fatal Attractions back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I cried like a small baby in my teen years because Wolverine lost his adamantium, and I thought he was going to suck. But
But then I didn't know that he had bone claws before that.
nobody
so.
did. That was the
Yeah.
big reveal. Was like,
Yeah.
holy crap, he's had these claws forever. Because
Yeah.
everybody thought that was part of his implants with the adamantium, but in reality, he was
He
born
had
with
bone claws, yeah. So,
Which
yeah,
was
I remember
kind of
reading
like
it,
a-
I was like, what?
Yeah, that was a twist. But
Yeah.
I mean, him with the bone claws actually became more of like a badass because of it, because he didn't have unbreakable bones, so he kind of had to relearn how to be awesome. That was a cool storyline. But yeah, I mean, adamantium in general, yeah, it's one of those cool weapons / items in fictional stuff that's iconic. You hear adamantium, you immediately know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Although it's funny, in Fallout, one of the perks you can get for your character is adamantium skull.
Oh, really?
It's just like, they have adamantium in the Fallout series?
Wow.
Interesting.
Huh, that's pretty
Basically, it's a perk that, like, you can't, like, your limbs are, like, it's harder to break a bone in it with adamantium skeleton.
That's pretty cool that they let him use that.
Yeah, you don't get claws. You just...
yeah, it's just unbreakable.
Yeah, you're just unbreakable.
Or harder to break.
Harder to break, yes.
Yeah.
But,
That's pretty crazy, though.
That's iconic. That was your number 2, right?
That was my number 2.
Okay, that's right. I'm going. Mine
Number
will be
2.
the first number 1. Surprisingly, we did not. I don't think we had any flip overs. This is the one.
Which is the first, because last few we've had that, actually.
Right. The next one, my number 1, again, I'm doing a lot of shout-outs tonight. This shout-out goes to Aaron Martin, because we were just talking about it the other night, and I don't know if you've even seen this movie, or if you have, you remember this, but my number 1 is Death Blossom from The Last Starfighter.
Mm-mm.
Oh, Richard.
Wait a minute, The Last Starfighter.
The Last Starfighter. It was an 80s movie where, okay, oh, this hurts me. Okay, long story short, it's a movie about a kid in a trailer park, like, 20-something kid in a trailer park that's constantly playing this video game called Last Starfighter.
Okay.
Turns out that it's actually a recruitment game from, like, an intergalactic alien species to find people to be starfighters and, like, in space.
Okay.
So, like, they find out this kid's, like, beating this game, so, like, aliens come and basically recruit him, and all of the starfighters get killed, and he is the last starfighter. So it's him and this alien in this ship called a Gunstar, which is a badass name for a ship. Kind of looks like an X-Wing fighter. But throughout the movie, he keeps saying, the alien with him, basically keeps saying that, like, it's a experimental ship. It has something on it called Death Blossom. And he's like, oh, what's Death Blossom? He goes to touch it. He's like, don't touch it. Only use it if it's the last possible time. And right at the end of the movie, you find out what Death Blossom is. And all it is he hits the Death Blossom. And the ship, which can, like, basically spin on its axis, it basically spins ridiculously hard in all directions and just starts firing lasers. Because they're surrounded by, like, 500 ships. He hits Death Blossom, spins around super fast, kills everything. It's just iconic. It's like, dude, Death Blossom. So, like, Aaron and I were talking about it last night.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that. Wow.
Kids these days will never know the awesomeness of Death Blossom. So, your homework, Richard, is you need to go find Last Starfighter. It's
I will actually find that and download it.
It's such a fun movie, man.
Wow.
You enjoy it. Being an
Last
80s
Starfighter,
kid.
that's 80s, right?
It's 80s. Oh, it's
80s.
It's one of the first, like, computer-generated graphics, and it's really good. Like, it's so good.
Shit. Huh.
But
That's
yeah,
crazy,
listeners, if you've not seen Last Starfighter, shame on you. Go check it out. It's so fun. And by the end of it, you'll think Death Blossom is the coolest.
No, I'm not going to say I've never heard of it, because I've absolutely heard of it. Just I've never seen it.
Oh,
wow.
It's a fun movie. It's only like an hour and a half, but it's so fun.
Huh. Yeah, I'm going to check it out, man.
It's so good.
No shit.
Especially for my number 1, you're like, I don't even know what that is. Ah!
Damn it, man!
We have a first on the podcast.
Shit.
Out of left
that's
field.
cool. Hell yeah.
All right.
All right, so my number one is the cloaking device from the Predator.
Wow.
It's not the plasma caster. It's not the throwing disc. It's not any of that other shit.
It's just the invisibility.
I just went straight up with the invisibility because it's pretty fucking cool.
Well, I mean, it's a powerful weapon. If you can't see where the hell your opponent's coming from, it's not fun.
Yeah,
and
so
it's iconic because when you see that cloaking ability in a movie or in Predator, it's not like any other like invisibility, because you can kind of see him, but it's like it distorts light, so it like you can see it but not see it so well.
Right, you can see like the outlines of him. It's a different thing that they did with it,
which is it's cool. Like again, going back to Fallout, you can get invisibility like. There's a invisibility suit in the game, one of the games, where you can basically do that, and it bends light just like the Predator.
Just like it.
Just hilarious because you can do that, and then you can get like this laser cannon, so you can basically become the Predator, and just wipe people out. That was one of my favorite things to do in Fallout is Predator people.
Yeah, it's pretty sick, and if you haven't noticed like our lists by now, it's becoming the same with us. It gravitates the same way.
We have our favorites, and I mean, Predator is such like an iconic thing to both of us, and like kids our age. It just it stuck with us, and
absolutely
one of the coolest. Yeah. I was just watching a YouTube video. There's a guy called Pat the NES Punk. And he has like a choreographed fight with Rob, which is the NES robot. Like he's trying to kill him, and he has a fight with him that it ends with he like knocks it off of something, and like Rob's coming to kill him, and he realizes he has a box set up by a rope, and he like kicks it, and the box comes down just like in Predator. And he gets ready to mash his head in with a rock, and Rob's just looking up at him like at the end of Predator, and he hits a button on his shoulder, and Rob's got like
he's got the
self-destruct button, and he actually like plays Billy's laugh that plays. He's like, so Rob's laughing at him. He starts running out of his apartment. It's really funny. I was just like, yeah, I'm not the only one that's been heavily influenced by Predator in my life.
We should all be so lucky, man. As far as I'm concerned, to be influenced by that, Aliens,
yeah, stuff that just sticks.
RoboCop, with you. All that stuff, man.
Yeah.
So.
Man, good timing. Do you have any honorable mentions for this one? Any other weapons you can think of?
Yeah, besides, of course, all the Predator stuff.
Sure. I'm surprised the disc didn't make my list. It was real close.
Yeah, the smart disc, because it was pretty awesome.
Dude, cuts through like 12 pieces of meat and Gary Busey.
And it comes right to back to his fingertips.
Dude, that's almost as good as...
And the shit glows in the dark.
I want to see a Predator with a smart disc versus Captain America and his shield. Which one would make it out of that one?
Which one cuts through which,
Well,
makes it,
Cap shield isn't necessarily sharp.
Well, this is true. Yeah.
I just want to see if they bounce off each other, if one would break over the other.
Which one would come back to each other. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely web shooters. I was going to put web shooters.
I almost did as well. Spider-Man web shooters are cool.
And that's it. Web shooters was
right
on.
I had something else on my list I was going to say. I mean, Ash's chainsaw.
Chainsaw.
But I mean, it's just a chainsaw, so it's nothing.
Well, he had it fit for his arm,
to his
so
hand,
that's the different thing about it. And then I was actually going to put the Predator spear as well.
Oh yeah,
just because it's the way it's made for them. But
nobody ever says the net launcher from Predator 2.
Oh, I wouldn't even think about that.
That thing freaked me out as a kid. It cut right through you.
Yeah, the way it tightens and shit.
Yeah,
the way, yeah.
Right on.
Craziness. But yeah, there's so many good ones out there. I'm sure we forgot so many, to be honest.
This is one I definitely want to see everybody else's list. So if you have one, please include it on your comments or seek us out and let us know, because I'm sure there's some really cool weapons out there. I'm sure somebody's going to say the glaive from Cole, if anybody sees that, remembers that. It's I to this day I still think the glaive's kind of cheesy, but Kyle Albee, that one was for you because I know you're gonna fight me on that one. But yeah,
so many good ones, man.
So many good ones. Oh, the Samaritan from Hellboy. I'm just gonna throw that one out before I forget. That was an awesome gun.
Yeah, that one was good. Geez, man. I'm having a mind blank, but yeah, I want to hear some good ones.
Yeah, hit us up. I'm sure there's some other great lists out there. So
this one's been a pretty fun list.
That
though,
was a very fun list. Yes.
Some of them it was kind of hard. Like I said, I had to sit down, really think, and do some research. Like I said, definitely for that RoboCop gun. I didn't want to do it if it actually kind of existed now. So
sure, I can understand that.
So like I said, with that gun, but when I saw like a 50 round per clip handgun, I'm like, okay, that can't exist now.
Yeah.
there's no way. For that gun, no. There's no way. All right, guys.
On that note, yeah, we're gonna end this list. We're gonna do some more. We're gonna do probably at least 2 more. We'll see. So if we sound like we're similar, it's because we're recording these together. But anyway, this one's been fun. Hopefully, our information should be streaming on the video as we speak for each of us.
Yeah,
and
we'll have all kinds of cool photos to go with this.
That'd be awesome if you can actually find pictures of each one of our weapons.
I will. I'll do like a cool music video with all the all the gear and stuff like that. It'll be cool.
Right on.
And I might even do some like the honorable mentions too to go with it.
That'd be cool. Right on.
But yeah, until next podcast, you guys, of course, stay frosty and stay metal. Later.